Here is why your manifestation isn't working. You're skipping the most important step. You see, you have been trying to control reality, but it keeps slipping through your fingers. And the reason is you are trying to jump to level 3 without yet mastering level 1. And most people in the manifestation space don't even talk about this. But if you miss it, you'll keep looping in the same struggles. And yes, there is a level 1. It's been staring at you in the mirror your whole life. So if I could map out the path to mastering reality, it would go like this: control over the ego, control over self, which will control over reality. Level 1 is mastering the ego. It is the foundation. Skip it and controlling reality will always feel like pushing a boulder uphill. But once you master it, it becomes child play. By the end of this video, you're gonna walk away with 4 powerful tools to master your ego, so you can finally take control of your reality. So before we talk about how to master the ego, let's get crystal clear on what the ego actually is, because most people get this completely wrong. Hey love, welcome back, or welcome. I'm Mar. Today we're going to look at one of the most overlooked parts when it comes to manifestation, and that is mastering the ego. Because if you're skipping this step, no matter how hard you try, reality will keep pushing back. And if you want to go even deeper with this type of work, this is exactly what I teach inside of my reset program. It's linked for you in the description. If you're new here, I drop a new video every single week on manifestation, self-improvement, and all things personal growth. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Grab your drinks, grab your notes. I'll leave today's timestamps right over here. Now let's get into the video. So what exactly is the ego? It's been called many names across different cultures. To the Buddhist, it's the monkey mind. The spiritualist, it's the lower self. To the scientist, it's the reptilian brain. To the religious, it's called the devil. Different names, but the same truth. When I talk about the ego here, I'm not talking about some arrogance or some personality flaw. I'm talking about the part of you that's locked into the physical plane. The part of you that runs your 5 senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Metaphysically speaking, your ego is like the vehicle your spirit drives. You're not the car, you're the driver. But here's the catch: over time, society programs that vehicle with preferences, opinions, and limitations that have nothing to do with your true self. And because the ego can only see its own existence, it often resists anything that's spiritual or expansive. It chases instant gratification, like an untamed animal, which is why it needs to be tamed before it takes control over you. So how do you master it? Mastering the ego comes down to this: choosing your higher will over the ego's impulses. Anytime that your ego wants something and you consciously choose something different, you're building control. And the more that you do it, the easier it becomes to steer your life, instead of letting your ego steer it for you. So method number 1 to mastering the ego is meditation. If you've been trying to manifest without consistently meditating, that's like trying to pour water into a cup that's already full. Meditation is the emptying of your mind before you can master yourself, and eventually reality. At its core, meditation is simply turning away from the outside world and focusing inward. But here's the challenge that most people face: your ego is addicted to movement, noise, and stimulation. So think about it. Marketing experts say that the average person sees 4,000 to 10,000 ads daily. The average smartphone user gets about 40 plus notifications a day. That constant stimulation is like a drug for your ego. No wonder sitting still feels so uncomfortable. When you try to meditate, you'll notice your body twitching, an urge to scratch, or a thought like, just open your eyes or check your phone real quick. That's the ego trying to break your focus. But here's the key: every time you hold your stillness, you're telling your ego, we're doing this my way. You're breaking it into submission. And personally, I like to meditate laying down on my bed, and even more so when I have my child around, because if I can hold perfect stillness, I know I'm strengthening my ability to master my ego anywhere. And without this sounding too woo-woo, meditation truly is a gateway to God. Even the Bible says, "Be still and know that I am God." That stillness is your connection to the higher dimension of yourself, beyond the ego. Even science backs this up, with hundreds of studies proving that meditation improves focus, emotional control, and well-being. And if you want to read more about this, I'll go ahead and leave a link down below for you. Method number 2 to mastering your ego is intermittent fasting. Fasting deprives the ego of one of its strongest desires, the need to eat on demand. Intermittent fasting simply means that you eat within a specific window of time each day. And personally, I follow a 16-hour fast. But if that sounds intense for you, you can start small. It's not about how long you fast. It's about training your ego to take command from you. See, your ego loves instant satisfaction. But when you tell it, not yet, it has no choice but to listen. Every time that you delay gratification, you strengthen your control. And that control makes reprogramming your mind much easier. Because if you can tell your body when to eat, you can also tell your mind what to believe. Whether that's manifesting your first 10K month, your dream career, or your ideal partner. So here's a quote from one of the greatest mystics. Fasting blinds the body in order to open the eyes of the soul. Metaphysically, fasting helps you step away from ego-driven impulses and align more deeply with your spirit. That's why in spiritual traditions like Ramadan, treat fasting as a sacred act. It clears the noise so you can connect higher. And beyond the spiritual benefits, the physical ones are huge. It reduces brain fog, it improves focus, and enhanced mental clarity. Now, method number 3 to mastering the ego is silence. Silence is one of the most underestimated tools for self-mastery. And it's powerful because it deprives the ego of one of its deepest desires, to be heard. From the moment that we're born, we cry for attention, affection, and that craving doesn't disappear when we grow up. It just hides under layers of maturity and self-control. And if you look around, people love to express themselves, to share their opinions, to be listened to. And honestly, I'm doing that right now as you're watching this video. But here's the thing, silence cuts through that urge. That's why monks practice it. It's not just about peace, it's about ego deprivation. When you practice silence, you're cutting yourself off from one of your most primal social instincts, which forces you inward. So here's how to do it. Start with short periods throughout the day where you speak to no one. Even if you live with other people, let them know I'm practicing silence for self-mastery. That way they understand. Now, the morning can be the perfect time for this. And yes, that means resisting the urge to grab your phone and text and look at your notifications, which personally I suggest to never look at your phone at least the first couple hours of the day. But silence builds discipline. It reconnects you to your inner world. And it's one more way to train your ego to take commands from you instead of it running the show. So your mind and body keep score. Every time you tell yourself you're going to do something and you follow through, you build trust. Every time you don't, that trust breaks. Like, for example, if you say, I'm going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, and you do it, your mind learns that your world means something. But if you hit the snooze button and skip it, you're teaching your mind and body that your instructions are optional. And if your own instructions are optional, how do you expect to manifest the career that you want, a certain income, or a partner that you desire? Because you're telling yourself in your mind, I want this, this, and that. But if you can't even wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning because your instructions are optional, and I'm not saying about it being about waking up at 6 a.m. It's about keeping the promises that you are making to yourself, no matter how small they are. The more that you honor your word, the more harmony you create between your mind and body. And the more harmony that you have, the more control you gain over your ego, which makes manifestation 1,000 times more easier. Whether it's sending that email, tracking your finances, calling your mom, or paying back a friend. Once you commit, it's law. Follow through. And don't wait for tomorrow. Start now. Time is an illusion. And the only moment that you can act is this one. And this is why I'm so excited to share with you my reset program. And this is for the woman who's ready to break free from old patterns and finally start creating her reality intentionally. No fluff, without the new age gimmicks. Inside, I'll walk you through the reset method, the same method that has helped women completely shift their emotional baseline, reprogram their subconscious, and finally attract what they've been trying to manifest for years. If that sounds like something you've been looking for, click the link in the description where it says reset program, and you can read more about how it works. And if you haven't yet, make sure to grab my free ebook, which is also in the description down below. Women all over the world are reading it right now, and I know it will be such a powerful starting point for you. I drop new videos every single week on manifestation, self-improvement, and emotional mastery. So hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching through the end of this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!